What's up guys, recently I put a post on my community section in YouTube saying if you had a chance to ask me anything related to RuneScape, YouTube or myself, that now was the time to ask. We're going to be doing in this video an Ask Me Anything where you can ask a question about RuneScape, about YouTube or just anything whatsoever about myself or whatever you want to ask. If you guys have had any questions for me, then now was the time to do that. So in the comment section of this community post, we're going to go through there, pick out a few of the questions and talk about those in this video. If you have any questions for me, even while you're watching this, maybe you didn't see the post, then leave a question in the comments down below, and if there's enough, then maybe I'll do a part 2 as well. Finally, before we get started, if you enjoy the music in the video, there's a link in the description to my music channel. Go over there, subscribe to that channel. It will help me out a hell of a lot, and I appreciate it, of course. But that being said, let's get started. Alright then, so the background footage is just going to be gameplay, guys. Don't worry about that too much, it's absolutely fine. Just basically minimize this and play your game. That's what you want to do. You want to go kill some Raksha, kill some ED3, get yourself some drops while you do this. Good luck, I hope you get something. If you do, you need to comment it down below. Anyway, the first comment says, do you believe in picking a style of DPS and sticking to it, i.e. magic arranged, pouring money into it, or for newer, inexperienced players, would you recommend hybrid builds? I recently bought an ECB Essence of Finality, and I'm not sure if I should also invest in magic setups. So, personally, I think as a newer player, you should just invest in one combat style. Stick to one combat style, pick the one that you think is cool and enjoyable. Don't pick what's going to be the meta. Don't ask anyone what the meta is. Just literally look at it and go, that looks fun, that looks enjoyable, that's what's going to carry me to the end game. I'm going to enjoy this, this is where I want to be. Find the one that you're going to get the most fun out of and just go from there. The reason I would suggest doing this is because it's stupidly expensive to try and invest in all 3 combat styles. You should probably try all 3 out early on, but then once you've done that and you've had a little mess around with them, before you invest big money into them, make a decision where you want to go and just go for it. As long as you're enjoying yourself, all combat styles are relevant in most places, next being like the only place that you don't want to use anything but range, and so you should be absolutely fine on using any combat style in any place. That being said, that combat style should absolutely be magic, because you know I'm a simp for magic, and no, pick whatever's fun, pick whatever's good, and just stick to whatever you enjoy. There's no reason to look for the meta early on. You can always go back to it later on, but I would suggest not buying into all different combat styles, because if you do this, then you're going to have like subpar gear for all 3 combat styles, and then when you go and try and do bosses and build up your bank even more, you're going to be having a worse off time than if you had a really good combat style like built up in magic. You had best in slot in one of the combat styles of magic or range, or melee. I guess melee's on the table too for most people. Then you can get a better time with killing bosses, you can enjoy it better, it's less stressful, and I would definitely just stick to doing something like that. And then if you ever want to change combat styles, this is something I get asked all the time. If you want to change combat style, don't sell your gear and get new combat gear. Use the gear that you've got at the moment to buy extra stuff. Use the gear you've got, kill bosses, make money, do Slayer, whatever you're doing, get money, and then buy into that other combat style. Don't sell your stuff, because if you regret it, you're going to sell it back and go back to the other combat style again, and then you end up losing money. Every time you do this, you are going to lose money in most situations, so definitely don't sell your gear just to move into another combat style. This next comment says, if you had to start over completely, your account's all gone, would you play super efficiently or just enjoy the fresh experience and take your time enjoying the game? So personally, I think once you've done the game once you've learnt the game enough, or once you've played it as much as I have, you kind of can't get that same experience back. You can't get that fresh, starting from scratch, enjoying everything slowly experience back. I think that's gone. I think you've enjoyed it once, and I think that's how it is. And I think this is true because when you look at most people that are going on a MMORPG hunt, they're looking for that, like that new MMORPG feel that's going to give them that same feeling they had when they played their first MMO. The people that play RuneScape now and have played for years and years and years, ask them, it's likely going to be their first MMO, because you get an incredible feeling the first time you play one, and it just makes you feel like you're in a brand new world. There's so much to explore, you don't know what's going on, you feel so small compared to the world. As you explore that world and you get into it and you understand it more, you slowly lose that feeling and it kind of becomes like a small world. Like RuneScape doesn't feel that big to me anymore. Back in the day, I didn't really know how to get from Varrock to Lumbridge, and it felt like it would take me all day to cross that place. And I didn't really do it much because I was like, it's going to take ages, I'm going to get lost on the way. Whereas now I'm like, 30 seconds. You teleport here, you walk there. So it wasn't how it worked back in the day. To answer your question, I don't think that I would probably take my time and enjoy the fresh experience. I would probably make a series out of it. I would likely, if that happened, I would make a series starting from scratch, and I would do everything likely efficiently. Not mega efficiently. I still wouldn't do ports. I still probably wouldn't do as much farming as I should do. I probably still wouldn't go to Menethos like I've never done on my main account. But I would likely do the quests. I would likely do efficient stuff to train with so it gets it over and done with, and I would likely get back to where I am now. It also kind of needs to take into account that this is my job as well, so having a high level account opens up a lot of content for me, so I would probably want to get back to that pretty quickly. That being said, I wouldn't buy keys, I wouldn't buy bonds, I would enjoy the game for what it is and stick to how I play now. The next question is for YouTube, and you say, Sleepy Tulip says, how hard is it for you to do content creation full time? So this is a pretty good question, and the way you've worded it is good as well, because it's hard. YouTube is hard. It's not easy. It's really, really not easy. You could ask any other content creator as well. If you watched this full time, especially at the subs that I did, I went full time at 4.5k subs or 4k, something like that. It was really early. It was a risk, but it did pay off, obviously, and I'm so glad that I did. That being said, it wasn't easy. I post very regular, as you guys know. I post almost every day if I can. I stream whenever I get the chance, and it is a lot of work. When you say how hard it is, yeah, it's freaking hard. It's a lot of work. You've got to constantly think of video ideas. You've got to constantly be planning out those ideas, recording them, editing them, uploading them, checking on your analytics, how it's doing. And there's this thing, which all YouTubers, I'm sure if there's any of you guys watching this video, you can probably leave a comment, let people know this is true. You have a thing that tells you how your newest video is doing out of 10 compared to your last 10 videos, right? And it'll rank it out 1 out of 10 or whatever. If it's the best video you've done in the last 10 videos, it'll be number 1. If it's the worst, it'll be number 10. When that drops like below 7, when it's like a 7 plus, you're having a bad day. You're having a pretty bad day. Whether you are having a good day in the first place, the second you see that number hit number 7, number 8, number 10, yeah, you're having a bad day. So that can be quite hard as well, but you kind of get used to it and you make changes. But as long as you look at what's going to make the next video better than the last, or work on that sort of thing, then it's fine. You can improve. You got to take those hits. That's the way it is. When I started doing YouTube full time, though, I was taking a big risk. I went full time. I made a video every day that I could, posted them all up, built my income up, and it worked out pretty okay. If I had not worked every single day, all day, many hours, probably about 12 hours to 15 hours a day, I probably wouldn't have made enough income to survive off of, and we wouldn't be where we are today. I probably would have had to go out and find a new job, but hey, I worked my ass off and we got where we are now. There's a lot of time that goes into YouTube. There really is. The next comment is from Mr. Bus Runner. You say, is there anything in RuneScape you wish you could do but just can't get into for some reason? Yes, actually there is. It's not kind of just straight up content. It's doing something in game specifically, and that is teaching people higher level content, but like properly teaching people high level content. There's a couple of things stopping me from doing this, and one is my skill in the game, which I'm working on and trying to get there. I feel like I'm improving still in PVM quite a bit, and I've come a long way since when I started YouTube, and I've even come a long way since like last year. It's quite a big difference, even if I do say so myself. There's still loads I need to improve on, so much, but I enjoy helping people in this game, in case you couldn't tell with all the sort of videos I sort of lean towards, but also it's time as well. So personally, I don't get that much free time, seeing as, like I said in the last one, doing a lot of making videos and streaming and stuff takes up a hell of a lot of time. Personally though, I would love to have a section set up in the Discord, in my Discord server, where I can host events every other day, maybe just for learners, with a couple of experienced people to tag along and just teach people and make a good, healthy, friendly environment for learners to learn the game. There's a lot of high-level content that I never got into and still am not really into because it's a fairly toxic place. Now, I don't mean this in a bad way. I understand why it gets kind of toxic. It's a waste of time for a lot of people. If you are doing these bosses and you can do them fast, you want to be in a fast team. You do. It's the way it is. You want to do it fastly. You want to do it quickly. You want to get through. You want to get as much profit out of it as you can. And then when someone screws that up, you're waiting for someone or they are slowing you down. It can be frustrating. I understand that. Personally, though, I would like to make that more accessible for a lot of players, making it so that you could join these smaller groups as well, not just masses and stuff, smaller groups, and have that like one-on-one or like I guess 3 people teaching another 4 people, 5 people how to do bosses like AOD or Virago or any like raids, that sort of stuff. I would like to make that thing a possibility. It's gonna take a lot of work, but that is one of my long-term goals as well. We're slowly trying to do it with the clan. We need some good like organization with it and stuff, and I need to kind of find the time to do it too. I feel like if I don't set the example of it, then it's probably not going to work as well as I would like. But yeah, I would like to be part of that, and I'd like to do that one day. So if there's anyone actually listening right now who wants to get involved in like teaching high level stuff in that same sort of thing, like a non-toxic, friendly, pretty chilled out environment, hit me up on Discord. There's a link in the description to my Discord server. Give me a direct message, and we can maybe talk about stuff. And if you want to host in the clan or anything like that, then you're absolutely welcome to join and do so. Let me know. The next question comes from Chain Gang Soldier Knit. Don't get it. Anyway, are you an accountant or a teacher? You sure sound like one. No. Do teachers and accountants have a voice? What? No. I don't know. I'm not, though. I'm a YouTuber. I don't really do anything else. I was in sales before this. Worked at McDonald's before that. I was an IT technician before that. So that's me. Alright, back to the RuneScape questions. How important are familiars, and which familiars are generally best for what PVM? Familiars are really important. They're incredibly important. Don't PVM without familiars. And also, certain skilling activities want to have a familiar too. Don't do certain skilling activities without familiars. But that being said, don't ask me which familiars to use for which skilling activity. You're probably better off asking Protox or Nuznuz. They will know better. I don't do skilling. So if you guys want skilling content, or not content, but skilling guides and stuff, they're the YouTubers to ask. Anyway, how important are familiars and what is best for PVM? Familiars are really important. For PVM, you want to use a Ripper Demon in most situations. Ripper Demon is damage. Damage is important. Damage equals slower kills. No, it doesn't. Damage equals faster kills. Faster kills equals less time getting hit by the boss. Less time getting hit by the boss means you take less damage and need less health. A lot of people get mixed up on this and they go, oh, we need a yak because I'm getting absolutely smacked. If you kill the boss quicker, you don't need as much food. Give it a shot. You never know. You can phase quicker. You can output a lot more DPS. Trust me, Ripper Demons carry. I get carried by Ripper Demons every day, except when you're on Magic with a Staff of Armadil. If you're on Magic, Staff of Armadil, then the best familiar to use is a Calgarian Demon. In any other situation, unless you have really low accuracy when you want to use a Nihil instead, then you will use a Ripper Demon. It's the way it works. Ripper Demons are too good. There's not really many other familiars that you want to be looking at, unless maybe you want a Yak or a Mammoth to tank through something. I don't know whether you'd want to do that in any bosses at the moment, but maybe when Zamorak comes out, it'll be useful. We'll have to see what happens. Hope that answers your question though. Nihil, if you need accuracy, Ripper Demon for damage, unless you have a Staff of Armadil, and then it's a Calgarian Demon. The next question is from Rainwater, and you say, can you go over rotations? No. I don't want to just get into this as simple as it is, but no. I get what you're asking, but rotations are way too in-depth for this. And also, I hate the freaking word rotation. You don't want a set rotation. No one really has a set rotation. You may have a slightly similar rotation in your Death Swiftness or your Sunshine, or I suppose your Berserk if you install melee again. But overall, you're going to be adjusting to the fight. You're going to be doing different things depending on your adrenaline, depending on whether you crit, depending on what abilities are available to you at the time, depending on many, many things. The rotation is not a set rotation. I don't like that term. I prefer to call it ability prioritization. Basically, what you want to do is learn a basic understanding of what abilities work best in a specific order to begin with. For example, in Magic, you would want to use Tsunami and then Tendrils to build your adrenaline up. But once that's done, those two abilities, once that is done, you kind of go, yeah, well, it depends how much adrenaline I got from the Tsunami. It depends how much like damage I've done at this point. It depends how close I am to phasing this boss. It depends on many, many things. You might want to use Wild Magic. You might want to use Omnipower. You might want to use Armadillo Battle Staff. You may want to do something else. It all depends on the boss. It all depends on the timing. There's so many different factors that you kind of can't really call it a rotation. You're going to have a rotation if you're doing it on a dummy, absolutely. But overall, you don't really want to call it a rotation, in my opinion. I use that word sometimes because it's like lack of a better word. And I think that's maybe why it gets thrown around. But ideally, read through all your abilities and understand what they do and their extra effects, because for anyone who doesn't know, abilities do have extra effects. For example, a stunned target will take more damage from Rack than it would do from using Rack on a non-stunned target. There's things that you want to know like this. Walking a Bleed increases the damage. Using Needle Strike increases your damage by 7% as a flat damage buff, but not on bleeds. All this sort of stuff's important. Once you know that, then also learn which abilities do the most damage, and then you can kind of make a better judgment from there. That's the way to go, and that's how I would explain rotations. Next question is another YouTube question. You say, with 20,000 subs, with your average viewership, when did you realize you could make this a full-time job, and was it a smooth transition? Like I mentioned earlier on, so this one will be pretty short, is I jumped onto YouTube being full-time at 4K. I wanted a change of job. I wanted a different career. I saw that this was possible. I was making a fairly small amount of income every month from it, but I thought, you know what? I'm doing this many videos a month. I think it was like 4 or 5. It wasn't much at all. And I thought if I could post 20 videos a month, my income should jump. It should jump. That should be the way it is. And if that happens, then I'll be fine. I worked out, I did the math, I times it by that. It worked out to be a pretty decent income. And I was like, let's freaking go. Let's go for it. So I made a list of videos and I made them. And then I quit my job and I posted them all, and it worked out pretty well. I'm doing good. It's fine. This is a good job. I enjoy it. It's probably my dream job, in all honesty. I wouldn't change it for the world. I have plenty of time to spend with the family. Yeah, it's a great job. Was it a smooth transition? No, it wasn't. It was a lot of work, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of all-nighters, a lot of coffee, but it's okay. It's good. And it's all worth it. And can I just say, it's all down to you guys watching all the videos, so I appreciate that very much. And also, for any new viewers, if you want to leave a like, want to sub to the channel and stuff, very much appreciated. And of course, I would value having you guys around. Anyway, let's go to the next question. This next comment says, I just maxed my account and now I'm a little bit lost in what to do with my time in game. Do you have any PVM related content you would recommend? This happens so much. How many of you guys listening right now have actually maxed and then taken a break from the game and then come back later on? Or maybe you maxed and was just like the exact same situation as this person. Like, what do I do now? Because the problem is, when you max, you're like, holy shit, I am so close to maxing. I should probably edit that out. Did I edit out? I don't know. Anyway, you think, I am so close to maxing, it's so good, it's so exciting. You max and you walk through the max guild doors and you go, oh, there's one portal and a woman who sells capes. And there's a grand exchange, which I've seen in 2 different places. And there's a bank. And there's a bonfire, which is in Priv. Maxing is underwhelming. In my opinion, getting max cape is underwhelming. It is exciting when you want to get it. It is exciting when you buy it. It is exciting for 5 minutes afterwards. And then you realize that everyone and their mum is maxed. And you go, oh, okay, what now? You take a break, or you have goals planned out already. I've said this many times, when you max, you want to have goals set out already for you to do next. Don't make max your main end game goal, because once you're done, you are going to take a break if you do. So what you want to do is make a goal of what you want to do after that. And if you are looking to get into PVM, like you've just asked, if you are learning PVM from scratch, I would start early on. I have a video talking about the PVM path. I believe Nuznuz made a great video on the same sort of thing as well. So check out those videos and you can kind of see where to start. You would start at God Wars 1, depending how good you are at DPS and stuff. Build up your DPS rotations, get used to abilities there. Go to God Wars 2, learn a few abilities. Vindicta teaches you res, Hellware teaches you res and positioning and devotion and stuff. Then you move from Hellware to Araxi to Nex. Then you go from Nex to anywhere really. Raksha to Calfight King to anywhere. Anywhere you want to go, that's where you want to go. But start off at the lower level bosses. Don't skip any of them. Move up the ladder, because each boss teaches you another thing that will be good for the next one. Lower level bosses get you ready for mid-level bosses. Mid-level bosses get you ready for high-level bosses. And high-level bosses get you ready for like mega high-level bosses. So that's what you want to do. Okay, this is going to be our final comment, and it is a non-RuneScape one. It is a real life one. Okay, so you asked, how do you combine playing RuneScape so much with a real life? Family parties, meeting up with friends, other hobbies and obligations. So, as many as you guys know, but many of you guys probably won't know if you haven't been around when I talk about it on stream or anything, I am a dad as well. So I have 2 kids. So it's pretty full on, full time, of course. It's absolutely amazing. Love my kids. Definitely the best thing I ever did. But having spare time isn't much. When you do YouTube, you are working a lot, but you need to keep in mind, working is doing my hobby. RuneScape is my hobby. I turned it into a job, so it's like it balances out quite a lot. When I'm spending time working, I'm not thinking, oh, I could be doing this other hobby, I could be doing this, I could be doing that. Other hobbies include probably music. I like doing music and stuff, but meeting up with friends and family parties, when they happen, they happen. YouTube's great, right? If I want to take a day off, I will make 2 videos today rather than one today, one tomorrow. I'll make 2 videos, schedule one for tomorrow, and then I will go out the next day. And don't panic about it too much. If I have something planned, like a stream that I need to do, It's a little bit more awkward. I'll just put it off till the next day though. It's not a big deal. YouTube gives quite a lot of freedom, but you do have to work a lot of hours. To make that extra video, I'd probably have to work another 6 to 7 hours, depending on what it is. And then I would schedule those around each other, and I would just, yeah. So it's great. You can take a day off whenever you want to, but usually it's to do that the day before or the couple of days before. You work your ass off to make sure you get that time. You kind of earn that time off, and it's great to be able to just do that. That being said, balancing it with real life itself, just like things that pop up, for example, kids need to go to the doctors or anything along those sort of lines, it's great. You just drop it. You just take the freaking pay cut. Doesn't even matter. Kids need the doctors, day off. I'm taking them to the doctors. Doesn't matter, and there's no need to book time off. There's no stress about like, can I get this time off or not? It is what it is. You just go, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. And again, that's thanks to you guys watching all these videos, leaving likes, subscribing, all the other stuff. People who donate in streams, that blows my mind. The channel members, you guys are incredible, and all of you viewers, all of you, absolutely insane, and I appreciate it very much. That being said, we're going to end the video here as well. So thank you all so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it, like I said. And yeah, I enjoyed doing a video like this. I kind of like being, what's the word? Getting on a more personal level with you viewers. So if you enjoyed this, let me know, and I will do a part 2. Leave any comments down below if you have any, and I will use this video as the one that I did for the post of the last one. We'll just go from there like that. Like I say, if you did enjoy, leave a like. Sub to the channel if you are new around here. Channel members, thank you all so much for your extra support. Very much appreciated. Your names will have been on screen right now, of course. If anyone else wants to join the channel as a channel member and support the channel as well, then you can click the join button by the subscribe button. Check out the music channel if you enjoy the music. There's a link down in the description. That is my music as well. Feel free to download it using any videos if you guys are aspiring content creators or big content creators. And other than that, thank you all so much for watching. Appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next one. See you later, guys.